The ghost in the coal mine. Imagine a world just 6 million years after the cataclysmic asteroid impact that ended the age of dinosaurs. The planet was in a state of frantic recovery, and in the suffocatingly hot, humid swamps of what is now northern Colombia, a new nightmare had claimed the throne of apex predator. For over 10 million years, this creature reigned supreme. Yet for nearly 60 million years, its existence remained a total secret, buried deep beneath layers of earth and ash. The story of its discovery begins not in a remote jungle, but in the dusty industrial landscape of the Tarajan coal mine, one of the largest open-pit operations on Earth. In 2002, workers and students unearthed massive fossils that were initially dismissed as petrified tree branches, or perhaps the remains of a giant prehistoric crocodile. It wasn't until these specimens reached the Florida Museum of Natural History years later that the terrifying truth was revealed. These were the vertebrae of a snake so large it defied the known laws of biology. This was Titanoboa carrigionensis, the titanic boa from Sierra, a serpent the size of a school bus and the weight of a rhinoceros. Chapter 1. The detective work of paleontology. The discovery of Titanoboa was a slow-burn scientific thriller. It began in 1994 when geologist Henry Garcia found a fossil he labeled a petrified branch. In 2003, Fabiani Herrera, a geology student, found fossilized leaves, proving the site was once home to the first tropical rainforest in South America. This attracted paleobiologist Scott Wing, who noticed the petrified branch in a display case and realized it was actually a jawbone from a land animal. By 2007, researcher Alex Hastings noticed an unusually large vertebra in a shipment labeled crocodile. He showed it to reptile specialist Jason Bork, who definitively identified it as a snake. To confirm the scale, the team contacted the world's leading snake expert, Jason Head. During an iChat session, Head saw the bone through a webcam and famously declared he was buying a plane ticket that night. Eventually, the team recovered fossils belonging to multiple individuals, allowing them to reconstruct the image of a true primeval monster. Chapter 2. Anatomy of a Titan. Breaking the records. Titanoboa was not just big, it was a biological outlier. Initial estimates based on the size of the vertebrae put the animal at enormous lengths. However, further modeling and the discovery of cranial material pushed those estimates even higher. To visualize this, Titanoboa was nearly twice as long as the largest modern anacondas and significantly heavier. The weight was equally staggering. Early scientific papers estimated an immense body mass, later refined by further studies based on modern analogs. In its thickest section, the snake's body reached nearly the width of a human torso. Its skeletal structure featured uniquely shaped neural spines on the vertebrae, providing massive attachment points for powerful muscles. Unlike modern pythons, Titanoboa was built for pure crushing power. Chapter 3. Life in a Paleocene steam cooker. The world Titanoboa inhabited was vastly different from the tropics of today. The region was a coastal plain covered in lush, waterlogged rainforest, with river systems crossing the landscape. The air was thick with humidity, and the atmosphere itself was heavier than today. This was a world of giants. The same rivers held enormous turtles and massive crocodiles. The environment functioned like a constant sauna. Because snakes are cold-blooded animals that rely on external heat, This extreme warmth acted as the fuel that allowed Titanoboa to grow to such a size. Warmer conditions meant faster digestion, more efficient circulation, and enough energy to sustain a body of immense mass. Chapter 4. The Great Dietary Mystery. Monster or fisher? For years, the public imagined Titanoboa as a crocodile killer. It seemed logical that a snake of such size would prey on large reptiles. However, new discoveries revealed something unexpected. Fragments of its skull showed a high number of closely packed, recurved teeth, perfect for gripping slippery prey. This anatomy is typical of fish-eating predators. It is now widely believed that Titanoboa primarily fed on large fish that filled the swampy rivers. While it was capable of attacking larger animals when needed, its anatomy suggests it was a specialized aquatic hunter rather than a general predator. Chapter 5. The Life Cycle of a Giant. Based on comparisons with modern anacondas, Titanoboa likely gave birth to live young. Even at birth, these snakes were enormous, already comparable in size to an adult human. From the moment they were born, they had to hunt and survive in an environment filled with danger. They grew slowly over many years, steadily increasing in size. An adult Titanoboa could live for decades, becoming more powerful over time. Interestingly, despite its size, it likely would not have targeted humans as prey. For such a massive predator, smaller animals would not have been worth the energy required. Chapter 6. Vasuki indicus, a new challenger for the throne. For a long time, Titanoboa was considered the largest snake to ever exist, but a new discovery introduced a potential rival, Vasuki, a giant snake discovered in India. It reached similar lengths and lived millions of years later. However, there was a key difference. While Vasuki may have been longer, it appears to have been more slender. Titanoboa, in contrast, was heavier and more robust, the true heavyweight predator. Additionally, their lifestyles differed. Titanoboa dominated water environments, while Vasuki likely hunted on land. Chapter 7. The Fall of the Titanic Boa. If Titanoboa was such a perfect predator, why did it disappear? The answer lies in climate change. As the Earth began to cool, the environment changed dramatically. For a giant cold-blooded animal, even small temperature shifts were critical. A cooler climate slowed its metabolism, reduced its ability to hunt, and made survival increasingly difficult. At the same time, habitats transformed and new animals began to compete more effectively. As conditions worsened, Titanoboa gradually disappeared from the Earth.